What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We back here with some more Metallica. This time we checking out That Was Just Your Life. And of course, we got the lyrics up because we ain't trying to miss anything. This has been a requested song by You Know Who You Are in the comments. Now, I'm never going to leave Metallica. It's just that sometimes, when I'm doing reactions and stuff, songs like this sometimes takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? Like, I really, really try to dissect things. Sometimes I just be wanting to have fun and stuff. So I react to like more fun oriented things and everything, and that's probably going to happen more and more often. But like I said, I will never leave Metallica. It's just going to be a little bit longer pauses and breaks in between the reactions because I feel like I've gotten most of the popular stuff done. Right, this particular video, I don't know what it's gotten on their main channel. If it is up on their main channel, which it probably should be, but this lyric versions are generally, in the millions, that a lot of people like, but this one's only at 200,000, which is very surprising. Um, and this person who uploads it always uploads a whole lot of lyric versions of Metallica. So I'd like to think that they're well respected in the community as far as providing the content like this. But regardless, view numbers aren't always an indicator of quality of music. So let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up. I mean, Metallica's always high quality anyways. So heartbeat. Okay, wow. Okay. The heartbeat and everything, it almost kind of gave, that sense of what is this called? That was just your life, right? So the heartbeat can mean a whole lot of things, right? It can mean, actually can mean a couple of things. It could mean, the start of something, or it can necessarily mean the end of something, right? So this song sounds like it's performed in the minor key. Generally songs that are performed in a minor scale, right, represent darker, deeper feelings and everything. So once I started hearing the instrumentals come in, that quickly went out of my head. I'm like, all right, somebody's got to be dying. Or if it was a represent of like new life being birthed, then something evil's coming out of there, right? What they started doing with that heartbeat was they started giving that psychedelic almost kind of a sound, right? And I'm sitting here thinking nobody remembers them, being birthed. I mean, if you do remember that, whoo, man, your memory is something else. But I can imagine, when the babies come out, all of these things are new experience to them, right? They're so used to being in the womb, and they get taken out. Do you just like, yo, what's going on? They start absolutely like tripping. You know what I mean? Of course, we don't see that. I don't know if we know that for a fact, that what experiences babies go through. Probably people a lot more smarter than me that probably does know that, but that's what I think. So when they started doing those psychedelic stuff, that's what I started thinking, like you just being ripped out of whatever this room that you're in. And like I said, that shift to minor, right, that it definitely sounds like it's in a minor, that may pull out like they just pulled the devil out or something like that, right? And then it started to pick up, right? It started to pick up, and if that wasn't enough, they started doing it, double time with the drums, right? And that's giving me a sense of action. Like this baby got pulled out and said, "All right, I've been in there too long enough. Now it's time to start knocking some heads." So those are my initial thoughts, man. Metallica's intros are always something. They're always something. All right.
Like a siren in my head that always begs to repeat. Like a blind man that I've shoved into the speeding driver's seat. Like a face that learns to speak when all I knew was how to fight. Like a misery that keeps me focused so I'm on a straight. Like an endless nightmare that I must awaken from its state. Like conviction, a premonition, not worthy of so I deny. I deny it.
Wait a minute, wait. Y'all didn't tell me James was coming out here trying to spit some bars now. Yo, this is fast. Cracking heads.
I blind my eyes and try and force it all into place. I stitch them up, see not my fall from grace. I blind my eyes, I hide a feeling passing me by. I open just in time to say goodbye. Almost like your life, almost like your endless fight. Curse the day is long. Realize you don't belong. Disconnect somehow. Never stop the bleeding now. Almost like your fight, and there it went. Almost like your life.
Yo, these rhythm change ups, man.
Like a woman keeps
Okay, so interesting, right? Like a woman that keeps on bleeding to remind me not to think. He's describing his life. He says almost like your life, right? So I mean, people say it's almost like you're like it's almost like that, but it's like it pretty much is. So describing these things that are probably happening to his life, like what do you call those? Metaphors, right? So if you was to explain something that was going on with your life, and you needed to explain it in a certain way that you think will be easily digestible or easily understandable, then you would start doing these type of metaphors, right? Like this one, like a wound that keeps on bleeding to remind me not to think, right? So if I was given that metaphor to something, I would say that my soul probably is hurting. Oh, no, no, not my soul is hurting. I am having trouble dealing with certain demons, right? So I would inflict momentary pain on me. Would that be sometimes that pain is addiction that stops me from having to worry about this womb, right? So like a womb that keeps on bleeding to remind me not to think of my situation, with that womb being the addiction and then the action of it or whatever it's doing being the bleeding, right? So he's like metaphors. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I just be talking.
like a wound that keeps on bleeding to remind me not to blink. Like a raging river drowning when I only need a drink.
Oh.
Like a poison that I swallow, but I want the world to die. Like a release from a prison that I didn't know I was in. Like a fight to live the past I bring to leave from way back then. Like a general without a mission until the war will start again. Start again. I blind my eyes and try and force it all into place. I stitch them up, see not my fall from grace.
See, that's interesting, right? So I blind my eyes and try to force it all into place, right? So you just pretty much just going through with the motions of trying to get things correct, right? He says and then right here, I stitched them up, see not my fall from grace, right? So you ain't really ready, like if you're trying to uphold to a certain degree or a certain image or whatnot of yourself or of your life and everything, then you're gonna do everything you can to make sure you uphold that image, right? So you start stitching up all these type of problems that's going on with you so that on the outside everybody knows that everything's going good when really you're not. And let me tell you why with these metaphors.
I blind my eyes and try and force it all into place. I stitch them up, see not my fall from grace. I blind my eyes, I hide a feeling passing me by.
Just life passing him by
I open just in time to say
right
goodbye.
before dying.
Almost like your life, almost like your endless fight. 'Cause the day is long. Realize you don't belong. Disconnect somehow.
Yeah, so like the day is long, curse of you don't belong. So curses, the days feel longer when of course you're paying attention to the time, right? But if you're actively doing something, then those when you get the illusion that that time is going short. When 24 hours, it passes at the same speed. What matters is your perception of it. So when he says that right there, curse the day is long, realize you don't belong, right? The only people who's cursing the day is long are the people who's paying too much attention to the time, don't necessarily got anything to do, or they just feel as though, the time that they are here is pretty much like worthless, and like I'm not I'm ready to get to the next day, right? And then it just ends up being dread because the next day is going to be more of the same. So you should start cursing that the day is long. You feel the same way when you're at work, especially if you're working a job that you don't like. That's why it's important, if you can, to get a job that you enjoy, because then it's not work. You're getting paid for something that you would have done already. I would love to be a full-time YouTuber, right? But these are all copyrighted, so I make no money for this. If anything, I'm working for free. Metallica gets all the money that's generated from these type of revenue. For those of you who don't know how copyright works, big bands like Metallica and everything, the reactors, we gain almost absolutely nothing from doing reactions to this, right? It's all copyrighted. Any ad revenue, it all goes to Metallica, right? That who the label, if you will, it all goes there. We do this purely out of enjoyment, right? Because I like Metallica. That I don't care that I don't make enough money on it. All I care about is that I'm sharing the experience with you guys. So and it just ties back into, I'm wishing that I could do this do it for full time, but because of copyright, it's very hard as a reaction channel to do something like this and actually make a livable wage off of it, because we earn no money from this type of stuff. So, all right, enough of that.
Almost like your endless fight. 'Cause the day is long. Realize you don't belong. Disconnect somehow.
Disconnect.
Never
Yeah.
stop the bleeding now.
Addiction,
Almost
disconnect.
like your fight. There it went. Almost like your life.
What up, baby? I'll tell you, man. I think the wah pedal was used in that, right? Which I absolutely love. I love that. I'm telling you guys, I didn't really know much about that. It's like I've heard it in like other metal songs and everything, but I didn't necessarily know what purposes other than to kind of express kind of that human emotion, that wah wah wah. Which in the hands of a really really good guitarist, right? They can really really make it sound like somebody's like in pain and withering and in agony, right? Especially that last part, which just sounded like it was just like I'm just need to get out of here. I love that. In the hands of a good guitarist, man, wonders are done with that. Let's hear it again.
Touch from hell, I feel how hot it can get if you get caught. Like a strike from heaven, turns that key and brings you straight down to your knees. Like a touch from hell, I feel how hot it can get if I get caught. Like a strike from heaven to reprieve that brings you straight down to your knees.
Yo, I love this continuous rocking. This is interesting. is a switch in the scale there. Ooh.
Almost like your life, almost like your endless fight. 'Cause the day is long. Realize you don't belong. Disconnect somehow. Never stop debating now. Almost like your fight, and there it went. Almost like your life. That was just your life.
Yeah, so and then he ends with it. That was just your life. So I think the whole gist of it, was metaphors that was talking about your life, right? And what it looks like, by explaining it with metaphors. Man, I don't know. I think that might have been like the fastest cadence that I've heard from James in that extended amount of time, right? Because I've heard him do like fast stuff and everything. It's just that never for that long. Generally, we have like some type of breakdowns where we kind of get that slow, molasses, sappy kind of diving in the mud type of breakdowns and everything. But this was just brute force all the way through. It's very interesting. It sounded like they switched scales. I don't know what scale this song was done in. Sound like they switched scales to a little bit more of a major. It sounded more happiness at the end. That was interesting, right? Given all these metaphors, why would I need that happy sounding, towards that last solo? Why would I need that happy sounding kind of thing right there? What is almost like like you take pleasure in everything that's going on, right? Misery loves company, and sometimes it gives them pleasure to see somebody else going through these same things. Now, if I was explaining my issues and metaphor and wanted somebody else to understand, maybe I would take pleasure in somebody understanding these things that I'm going through in my life. So maybe that's why that was there. I don't know. That just seems so random, but I don't know why, right? Musically, right? That's why that's how I try to break things down. Musically, the lyrics are cool and everything, but what are they trying to tell us in the music? I think that's where Metallica shines the most, man. Is that their conceptual music, and with my jazz music upbringing, right? Because that's what I'm experienced in jazz. That's what led me. That's why I like metal so much, because the concepts and stuff that they put in their music. More specifically Metallica and a whole lot of other metal bands I've reacted to. And my brain just can't let that type of stuff go. I need to know why, you know what I mean? So I'll probably do some extended research. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.